we don't have to build another mine. We don't have to spend $40 million on a plant. We're going to use our existing plant, and we have an environmental permit at San Martin, which allows us for 12 more years of dry tailings. So we don't have a tailings dam. It's another key factor. The worst case scenario is the mine lasts for 45 years, and the best case is that it continues on for more than 100. So that's the kind of potential.
Well,
And Steve, that's really what's motivated me to stick with it, because a small mine is as much work as a big mine. But these, if in history, if you're fortunate enough that you can find the source or make a larger discovery, it's extremely lucrative.
welcome back, everyone. Today we have Starcore International Mines back with us. Many of you may know their flagship San Martin mine in Queretaro, Mexico, producing both gold and silver. They also have other projects which we can get into, but joining us is Robert Eadie, CEO of Starcore International Mines, to break it all down. Robert, great to have you again.
Thanks, Steve, for having us back. It's always a pleasure to come and chat with you.
Likewise, my friend. Robert, you guys, well, for those who don't know the story, if you can tell us about the San Martin mine and just kind of start at the top and tell us what that's all about and why that's such an
Sure.
important asset.
Starcore publicly listed, Toronto Stock Exchange, the senior board. SAM is the ticker symbol. Starcore.com is the website. We purchased a mine from Goldcorp 19 years ago called the San Martin mine, and it's been producing gold and silver ever since then. The mine goes through bonus years and some years which are a little bit harder to keep up with the production. You know, there's some fluctuation, but that's just the nature of the mine because it's a big epithermal system. The size of the property is 12,992 hectares. To put that into easier form, it's 10 by 13 kilometers. And we've explored or been producing out of about 11% of it. And the reason that we're so interested is that the geology is a great mystery and we haven't been able to find the source, but the mind keeps giving to us. And so we use different science technologies in order to advance our exploration or to get better at it, to get more accuracy, to get better results, keep the cost down low. Yeah. So we're excited because the facility in itself, we've been upgrading the facility recently, but pretty much always adding something or replacing something to keep it in excellent condition. Now, what we've done is acquired another project which is 2 hours away by car on paved road called La Tortilla. And La Tortilla is a high-grade historical silver mine. So this is a really a forward-looking statement, and we haven't done a 43-101, a technical report on it, because we've just acquired it and we've made all of our applications to the government to get it permitted so that we can start taking bulk samples or taking ore from it and shipping it to our infrastructure at San Martin. Now, why that's important? Well, we don't have to build another mine. We don't have to spend $40 million on a plant. We're going to use our existing plant, and we have an environmental permit at San Martin, which allows us for 12 more years of dry tailings. So we don't have a tailings dam. It's another key factor. What we do is we recycle or remove the chemicals from the waste, and then we put the waste out into what we call a stack. And it's essentially a dried stack, 92% dry, 8% liquid, which evaporates. So those are really key factors that I think it's important to understand. You know, we have the ability to process other ore from this other mine and still your costs stay relatively stable because you're not having to put administration over there. You're shipping your ore, you're processing it in your facility that you currently use. We will have to increase the number of people that work in the plant, but that's about it. So so far we've been getting some incredible grades of 500 grams of silver. That's our average grade. And those have not been drilled though, so that's will be the next step once we get the permit, which we are anticipating in March, and then we will hit the ground running with drills and see what we discover. So,
Robert, for those of us who aren't geologists, what's an epithermal system, first of all? You mentioned that the San Martin mine is an epithermal system. That sounds like a word that I should know about.
okay, so there's different types of deposits, and to um, say there's copper porphyries, which is what you get in Arizona. You get big porphyries. Is a style of mineralization essentially 300 million years ago. The right way I describe it is you take a pot, you put it on the stove filled with water, it boils. As it boils, it overflows and the steam comes up. That's the epithermal system. I mean, very basically. Um, so what we looked for many, many years ago is what came first, the rocks or the fluid. So for us, the rocks came first, the fluid is second, so that leaves the door open to the possibility of finding the source. So finding the source means that, where is the boiling point? Where is that boiling point for it? And it is a big, big system. So that's about the easiest way. And the other one, how I describe the process of what we do, it's like baking a cake. We go
Okay.
underground, we get dirt, flour, we crush it, put it into the bowl, we add some chemicals, some stabilizers, some pH balance. We extract the liquid, we put it through filters. We then put that into an oven, we bake that, and we make doré bars. And those are sent to a refinery, and they in turn give us gold and silver. So,
Robert, you mentioned that the boiling point, the source, you haven't found it yet, but
no.
the mine still keeps on giving, like a secret Santa. Like, what significance is it that you made it sound like it was a good thing that you don't know the boiling point yet, but it still
It,
gives.
it's a great thing. It means that it's undefined, and in my lifetime or my working lifetime, maybe we won't find it. But what we've done is we've modeled this mine against similar geological models in Mexico. And the worst case scenario is the mine lasts for 45 years, and the best case is that it continues on for more than 100. So that's the kind of potential. And
Well,
and Steve, that's really what's motivated me to stick with it because a small mine is as much work as a big mine. But these, if in history, if you're fortunate enough that you can find the source or make a larger discovery, it's extremely lucrative for shareholders in particular. So in this particular market, what do we produce gold and silver, and the market is quite now good for those prices. And I expect in the next 3 to 5 years, it's only my personal opinion, not advice. So that we're going to have quite a more amazing market. We're going to see gold at quite a bit higher and definitely silver a lot higher. So how can I get these commodities to market and processed on behalf of shareholders? The faster I can do that, the better I can perform for my shareholders. So with the La Tortilla project, that allows me at a very low cost of entry to go get another project and be able to deliver silver and gold to the market. So that's why I'm excited. Very excited, actually.
so San Martin is producing gold and silver currently,
Correct.
and Tortilla is a stone's throw away, a couple hours drive, paved road. Uh, are you expecting this similar sort of grade results, volume? I mean, is it comparable, you think?
It's a different system, and it's in a silver district, and quite a big district. Um, I wouldn't say comparable, but I certainly think that we'll be able to extract the same monthly values out of La Tortilla that we're doing at San Martin. Unless San Martin, we come into a bonanza zone and the grade's much higher, then financially will perform. But the two of them together will perform financially beautifully, and in turn, reflect upon the share price, and shareholders will be very happy.
So, Robert, the size, the potential of the San Martin properties sounds enormous. What about the grade? What are you guys finding? Uh, is that kind of what you're expecting there?
Well, we find high grade ore shoots, and that's generally how we balance it. We have a lot of lower grade, like 1.6, 1.8 grams of gold, 40 grams of silver. But really, what we look for is the higher grade shoots, things where we get 8 grams, 10 grams, and then we blend it to have a consistent balance go through the mill.
And then you're producing 650 tons per day. Is that
We're
kind of
processing 650 tons per day, and right now it would be, say, 700 to 800 ounces per month. And we, again, forward-looking statement, I expect that to come back up to 1,000 ounces a month
okay
without La Tortilla,
without La Tortilla?
without La Tortilla. And the other part of San Martin, which we just put out a press release to explain why that the production had gone down by single digit percentages in the last quarter, and it wasn't because of grade, it was because of an error in the mill where we process two types of ore, um, ore which is from oxide, which is basically is rocks, and ore which has carbon. And so what that they did is in recycling some of the liquids from the carbon, they used it on the oxide and it affected us so that the recoveries went down. But they caught it really quickly, and so we've had to order some additional equipment and filters so that the two processes don't cross over, that they keep 100% separate. So but that's mining. That's if you think about manufacturing, that's really what
Mhm.
we do is we manufacture. And sometimes in the plant, when you trying to expand your manufacturing, sometimes even though it's on paper, even though it's engineered, sometimes it just doesn't go as what you would expect it to go. So, but fortunate, the team is very proactive and they caught it pretty quickly within a couple of weeks. So,
So you added the Tortilla Project to provide benefit for the shareholders. You're looking at getting a permit possibly in as early as March. Is that?
correct.
And then after that, the projection is to start drilling tests and getting
We
results
expect,
and
we
studies.
expect we'll start shipping ore right away.
Okay.
We'll be able to
So,
ship maybe, 100 tons uh,
well,
a day, or we'll move up to that after a month or two, and then we'll be able to send a couple of trucks a day with ore to be processed.
is the permitting difficult to get, or is this, do you anticipate any hiccups possibly? I mean, I don't know how long the process takes down there.
Um, Hiccups possibly. I would say that to be realistic, I would say worldwide, you have to be
Yeah.
prepared for something not going as you've expected. But we've put a lot of time and energy into making the applications, which are now in, but only a couple
Mhm.
of days in, and worked with the different agencies for what that they want. Now the area is in need of economic investment, jobs, work for the people that live around there. Uh,
Mhm.
People are enthusiastic. So when you have that circumstance, the permitting goes a little easier. And because we're not processing there, we don't actually need a operational permit. All we're doing is removing rock and shipping rock to our fully licensed facility called San Martin.
Gotcha. So that part, the most difficult part, is already taken care of.
Yeah, it's not needed, and
Well,
because we're not operational there. We're going to be taking rocks away, and that's it. We're not returning anything back, no waste or anything. And drilling, the permits for drilling are relatively, I would say the process is normal to most places in the world. And in Mexico, right now, they're redefining the Mining Act for open pit mines. And so those are a little bit more challenging, but this is underground, so that it's not really affected. And the people in the community, for us here, we you have to develop things with a community plan and talking with community. The community is very supportive. The owner of the property is extremely supportive, and his family has been in the area for hundreds of years, and so everyone is very supportive and wants to see the project, go through. And we work very hard, Steve, at community relations and trying to do things right and take care of our workers. We hired a corporate doctor 3 years ago. We pay attention to nutrition. We test their blood twice a year. We let people know if we're concerned about certain things in their blood. We monitor to make sure the exposure to anything harmful isn't affecting our workers. So that leads to, I would say, a reputation, which is you can't really document it. You can document the process and everything, but you can't, go to the community and say, "Oh, well, we'd like to do a survey with you," and they'll say, okay, well, what's in it for us?" But we have a good reputation,
yeah.
treating our workers well, and our concern or our carefulness for the environment by using this dry stack tailings. So.
Yeah, that matters, and I think you're right there in Mexico, like near the site. And I do run across companies where the CEO is not even near the site at all. But I know that you make it intentional to develop good relationships with the people there. Now, I want to switch gears a little bit and look at the capital structure a bit. I know that you guys had a pretty tight share structure, but curious as to, for you yourself, you said you stuck with it, or you've kept it in it and you kept going because you saw the potential. Uh, for those who believe in the project, what gets you guys most excited? And then if you can tell our listeners and investors, where you see the deep value for Starcore.
Okay. We did recently a financing. We raised $5 million, and that was to accelerate the Tortilla project, accelerate our ability to drill it, get or process it. The capital shares were still under 100 million shares. What gets us excited is our potential for finding more and our tangible potential in cash flow. So we see that the cash flow being very robust with both projects and being able to net some healthy sums per month and in turn per year and in turn reflected in the share price. So that's really what gets us excited. And those of us who've been involved in mining for a very long time, such as myself, know how difficult it is to find a project which that you can start processing ore relatively quickly and have the facility. So
Hmm.
it's a rare combination because of the economics have to be right. If the project was 6 hours away, the economics might not work because of trucking, haulage, and what that costs. But the fact
Yeah.
it's 2 hours away, it works. And the ore, and then we get into the type of ore. The type of ore at La Tortilla is similar to San Martin, so the treatment process is similar. And that, again, that's not always possible. Sometimes you could get into ore that's very complicated and you can't treat it at your current plant. You have to make a whole new facility.
Hmm.
So, or a circuit, and then you start running into time and expense. So that's really what's exciting is to be able to bring this other project on and what the net cash flow will be. That's going to be a very good number and reflect in the share price in time. And what's my range? So my range in time is to be completely optimized would be about 2 years. So that's where I get into my conversations around my group friends and associates is, do we have investors or do we have traders? So if you want to trade Starcore, it's probably not the best stop for you because we take a longer term approach, and even 2 years isn't that long when you look in the scale of things. If you figure, Steve, I've been at it for 19 years and acquiring shares over that time to build my share position, and I think now in 2 years, I think shareholders will be greatly rewarded because of
Hmm.
production. Well, that's a good time frame. That's a very decent time frame as far as I'm concerned. Again, my personal opinion, my strategy as a CEO of running this, and I'm supported by shareholders. So far, so good.
Robert, could you tell us where you're trading for those who want to follow your story? How do they follow you? If you can share your ticker, your website, and how people can get better connected.
Sam on the TSX on the senior board, SAM. This website is starcore.com, STARCORE.com. We're fairly consistent with news releases, putting out news, updating shareholders. Um, yeah, and as we get better results, and we'll just keep putting out more news and updates, and updates such as this with you, Steve. We're very happy to be have that connection with you where we can come and explain the story and talk about it in depth and detail so that people get an understanding and they can see how passionate I am about the company and
Mhm.
dedicated to shareholder success, and that runs all the way through the company.
Robert, I appreciate your transparency, and I myself get the updates. Just for our listeners, full disclosure, I myself am an investor of Starcore along with both of my kids. They're also investors in the company. I'm not giving investment advice. I'm not qualified or in position to do so. Listeners, please do your own due diligence. Starcore is a sponsor of our site, and Robert Eadie is the CEO of Starcore International Mines. We'll have the links to Starcore in the show so you can follow their updates and reach out to Robert directly if you have any questions. So, Robert, I appreciate your time. For everybody, I'm Steve Yang, learning about companies like Starcore with you. Please do your due diligence and find good companies and stay smart. Robert, thanks again.
Thank you, Steve. Been a pleasure.